Hello, Dad. This is Jay Warren. This is the Dadhood Journey Podcast. And today's topic is this: what I learned in my first week. Let's do it.
Hi, my name's Niko, and you're listening to my dad, Jay Warren. This is the Dadhood Journey Podcast. Thanks for listening. Pretty good. Now can we listen to it?
Yep. All right, Dad. So I am finding myself at the end of a very long, very emotional, very challenging week. This is the first week of my single dadhood journey, and all in all, I do think it went well. I am ragged. I am physically tired. I'm emotionally drained. And I know it's going to get better. I knew that this week was going to be challenging. I didn't know what set of challenges would be in front of me with it, but I was trying to prepare as much as possible. I don't think I got blindsided necessarily, but it definitely took its toll. As I've said in the other episodes, Sunday was the big moving day. As I said in the next episode, on my first day of dadhood, there was a couple rough mornings that Niko had, a couple rough evenings, missing me in the house because his mom and he are staying in the house that we were all in together, and then I'm in my new place. And so Sunday night was rough. Monday morning was really rough. I think I told you guys about that. And I went over there and things got better. And then he had another rough morning, searching the house, looking for me, and then not finding me, and being upset. And then kind of saying some things around like, Daddy's not here. Daddy doesn't care about me. Daddy doesn't love me. And that was really hard. She told me about that, not at all in a dig type of sense. I didn't take it that at all. But just in a communication sense, for me to just be really connected as much as possible with Niko and to talk about how much I love him and those kind of things. So those kind of roller coasters were happening all week. Some of the transfers I found challenging because they lingered a while, and I was kind of like, all right, I don't want to like pick them up and let's get out of here. But it was kind of like lingering over breakfast and doing a couple things in the house to wrap things up or close things out. But in general, what I learned in this week is how important it is for me to be really present with my son when I'm with him. I can't control anything when he's not around me, just like any parent that's both mom and dad are in the same house. Like, you can't control what goes on when your kid goes to school, when he's at play dates with friends, when he's with family members, when he's with a babysitter, those kind of things. I mean, you set them up for success and you put them in the right environments, but you can't control that. So I'm really having to step into that and have to immerse myself in trust. And I'm really very, very fortunate in that everyone that's with my son when I'm not around him are excellent caregivers. They love him a ton. They care about him a ton. They're doing really, really well. So I don't have to worry about that in a way that some other single dads have to when their kids are with their significant other, the other significant other, because of other strife. So I'm blessed in that, but there is that part of me that wants to know every little thing that's going on. And what I also can control, and this is true of every dad, regardless of family situation, is to be as present as possible with my son when I'm with him. And so that changed dramatically for me, or it heightened my awareness to that, especially on the day where I picked him up, where he had that morning where he's like, Daddy's not here. Does Daddy love me? Does Daddy care about me? So I was just on full alert to make sure that he knew that. I said it often, and we just had a really good day. And I have to be honest, it was one of those things where, like, I'll buy him every Lego there is just to make him happy, and I obviously wasn't going to do that because it's not about like buying things. I want him to be connected with me, and I want him to be loved by me and to feel that and have great experiences with me rather than just buying him shit. But that did kind of laughingly cross my mind where I just wanted to do that because I wanted him to be happy. I didn't want him to be sad, and I didn't want him to think that of me. Deep down, I know that he doesn't believe that. I think that's an expression that as like a 5-year-old that comes out of them. But suffice to say, like, knowing that he's going through that, like, one, I'm with him, like I want to be fully with him. And I honestly, I wasn't great at that all weekend. Friday, Saturday, and the weekend and Sunday, he was with me, and we went up to LA to visit my folks. My mom had a hip replacement surgery last week, and because I was moving, I couldn't be up there, which I felt badly about. But she has lots of, my mom and her, my dad and her, my aunt, her sister, were taking care of her. But anyway, we went up there, and that was challenging because, like, seeing her moving around, like, she's doing well and she's going to recover, but it's just hard seeing her like on a walker. And the house was a little crazy because we're like sleeping on couches and didn't have our own room because she was using the room downstairs. And we saw another family friend. They're like second parents to me, and she's going through chemo right now, and it's just really draining in a lot of ways. And so there were times where I was way shorter with him than I wanted to be. There was times where he just wanted to play with me, but like I was so drained that yesterday thankfully I was able to take like a full long nap. That gave me some more energy, more presence. We were scootering around forever, which was super fun, and it kind of got him out of the house, and it was good for me to be out and about too. But then last night he fell asleep probably around like 7:38, and at 8:00 I crashed too and slept straight until 6. So I got 10 hours of sleep last night, which clearly I needed, even after taking an hour and a half nap yesterday afternoon. Like, my body just needed to shut down and my mind needed to shut down. So I felt much, much better today. But, this week with all those ups and downs, it just made my time with him that much more, I don't know, precious. It sounds so dramatic, but, it was just different this week. And the amount of time that I spent with him this week was no different than any other week. Our schedules are completely the same as far as my days off and me being with him, like Friday, Saturday, most of Sunday, like our split schedules have been that way for a long time. So that hasn't changed, but the quality of that time was different and heightened, and me going through all of my emotions and like physically being just drained from the move and sorting things, and emotionally like trying to like move into the new house and close out the other stuff and still run my business and have Thanksgiving and all this kind of stuff, because it's Thanksgiving week at the time of this recording. It was just a lot, my bandwidth was not able to handle all of it at once. And so thankfully I was able to shut down and rejuvenate. And like this week will be more of a normal week because it's not a holiday week. I'm not going to be traveling. I needed to cut out, needed to check out. So for you guys, I don't wish this on you, like houses splitting up. But when you're with your kiddos, like it really is precious. And if you're working a bunch and you're coming home, like, what that feels like, of like, oh my gosh, I finally get to be with my kids. And even when it's stressful in the house, like it's still sweet. It's still precious. And it's something that I know is going to get easier as we get into more of a groove. And Niko gets used to more of the separateness and two houses, and he'll flex with that pretty well, I think. I think he's doing really well for the first week. We'll get in a groove, but I hope that never changes, that I don't go back into an old pattern of just taking it for granted and kind of like, all right, here you go. Like, let's just get through the day and get to bedtime. Anyway, so that's my kind of synopsis of this week, kind of a journal entry in a way for myself to debrief this week and what's gone on, but also the lesson, just kind of reflecting of I can only control what I can control, and me being kind of a control freak, I want to like direct and make happen as much as possible, but this is definitely a lesson that I can't do as much as I want to do. And then also being present and just being really centered and focused on my son and just pouring into him that I love him, that this is between his mom and I, not because of him, that he's really cared for by everyone around him, and none of that changes as far as his grandparents and his mom and his dad. And then especially like when I'm with him, to just be really focused on him and to let him know that I love him. So hopefully you guys feeling that in the same way, or like hopefully you're in a different family situation, but then you bring that presence and that outpouring of love to your kids so they feel it each and every day and each and every time that they're with you. All right. So until the next episode, guys, take good care of yourself, take good care of your families, and we'll connect on that next episode. Take care.
I hope you enjoyed that episode. You can hang out with other dads in our Facebook group. Just go to Facebook, search for the Dadhood Journey, and apply to get in. See you there, and see you on the next episode. Thanks for listening.